Is uncapped funding a one-size-fits-all solution for every business? Or is it a carefully curated tool designed for a very specific type of founder? For years, the entrepreneurial landscape has been dominated by a single narrative: the tech startup, the e-commerce whiz, the SaaS founder, the app developer. These are the faces we see on the covers of business magazines. The founders getting the big venture capital rounds. The ones whose businesses seem to scale overnight. And a lot of alternative funding options have emerged to specifically serve this new digital-first wave of entrepreneurs. Uncapped is one of the biggest names in this space. They've built a reputation for providing fast, flexible funding to businesses that generate revenue through online platforms. We're talking about non-dilutive capital, meaning you don't give up any equity in your company. It's a compelling proposition, especially for founders who want to maintain full control. You connect your sales and accounting platforms. They analyze the data, and if you meet the criteria, you get an offer in as little as 24 hours. The whole process is built on speed, data, and a deep understanding of the digital economy. But what about everyone else? What about the entrepreneur who runs a brick-and-mortar cafe? The freelance plumber who works on his own? The local retail store owner with a loyal customer base but no Shopify account? Are these offline businesses and sole traders eligible for uncapped funding? This is a question that cuts to the heart of a wider conversation about access to capital and the future of small business. The simple and somewhat difficult answer is this: Uncapped is designed for online revenue-generating businesses. That means businesses that can connect their sales data from platforms like Shopify, Stripe, or even Amazon. The entire model is built around this automated data analysis. They use your real-time sales figures to assess your business's health and determine your funding limit. This data-driven approach is what allows them to move so quickly and avoid the traditional, often slow, application processes that require extensive business plans and pitch decks. So, for the local cafe owner, the plumber, or the retail store that only accepts cash or traditional card payments, the core eligibility requirements of Uncapped can be a significant barrier. While some offline sales can be accommodated if verifiable data is provided, the business model itself needs to have a strong online component to even be considered. This isn't a judgment on the value of these businesses. They're the backbone of our communities. It's simply a mismatch of a funding solution built for a specific problem. Uncapped's model also has specific legal structure requirements. They work with limited companies that have at least 6 months of trading history and specific monthly revenue thresholds. This is a crucial point for a sole trader who operates as an individual rather than a registered company. A sole trader, by definition, is not a limited company. This means that, regardless of how successful they are, their legal structure immediately disqualifies them from uncapped funding. Now, you might be thinking, that's a bummer. So what are the options for these businesses? And that is the most important question to ask. The world of business funding is vast and diverse, and just because one door is closed doesn't mean you're out of options. In fact, many other solutions are specifically tailored to the needs of offline businesses and sole traders. Let's start with the most traditional route: bank loans. While they can be slower and more rigid than alternative lenders, banks still offer a range of products for small businesses. A business loan or a line of credit from a traditional bank can be a viable option, especially for a well-established business with a solid track record. Banks are more accustomed to reviewing financial statements, business assets, and personal credit history, which are often the only forms of documentation an offline business has. Then there are government-backed loans and grants. In many countries, government programs are designed to support small businesses and sole traders. These programs often have more flexible eligibility criteria and can be a fantastic source of capital for a variety of projects, from purchasing new equipment to hiring staff. A quick search for small business grants in your local area can yield some surprising results. For the retail store owner who might not have a huge online presence but does process credit and debit cards, there's another option: a merchant cash advance. This is an upfront lump sum of money provided to a business in exchange for a percentage of its future credit and debit card sales. The repayments are directly tied to the business's daily sales, which can be a huge benefit during slower periods. And what about that freelance plumber or the independent contractor? They have their own unique funding needs. Invoice financing, also known as factoring, can be a game changer. This is a form of financing where a company sells its outstanding invoices to a third party at a discount. The third party then pays the company a lump sum, and the company can use that cash to fund their operations. This is a perfect solution for service-based businesses that often have to wait 30, 60, or even 90 days for clients to pay their invoices. It unlocks cash flow that's tied up and allows them to take on more work or invest in new tools. There are also peer-to-peer lending platforms and microloan organizations that cater to a broader range of businesses, including sole traders and those with a less than perfect credit history. These platforms often connect small business owners directly with individual investors, offering more flexible terms and more personal approach than traditional lenders. The key takeaway here is that Uncapped and other platforms like it are not meant to be a universal funding solution. Their business model is built on a very specific set of criteria that works exceptionally well for a certain type of business. The speed and convenience they offer are a direct result of their automated, data-driven process, which, by its nature, excludes those who don't fit the mold. So, if you're a founder with an e-commerce store, a subscription-based app, or a SaaS company, Uncapped could be exactly what you need to fuel your growth without giving up equity. The process is fast, the terms are transparent, and it's a powerful tool in your financial arsenal. But if you're a sole trader, a local shop owner, or a service provider who operates primarily offline, don't be discouraged. The world of business finance hasn't forgotten about you. There are countless other paths to securing the capital you need to grow your business, and many of them are better suited to your unique situation. The most important thing is to do your research, understand the various options available, and find the one that aligns with your business's structure, sales model, and goals. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.